Hey gang, Michael here. We are taking a look today at Guitar Player magazine from April 1991. How did I come by this one? I was mastering an awesome rock album recently from a band called Corvus Lore, and the guitar player Eric sent me this as a gift because they were really happy with what I did. So that was so cool. He's had this since 91 and he got it signed by Nuno. So he's had this in this little case and he gifted it to me. So that was super cool. Thank you, Eric. All right. Guitar player. What do we got here? Win Nuno's guitar. That's good. $3.50. That'll get you this magazine. Oh, okay. I got to tell you, man, too many light glares, but this is just what I wanted forever. I'm a huge Alex Skolnick fan. Like his Testament stuff was great. I love that so much. And my wife's making a cake in the other room, so sorry if there's some noise. But look at this. He's got these little Lisa's drum machines. This looks like a cassette, maybe 8-track recorder. Nice little keyboard. Oh, you know what? I bet that's a mixer because that is, I think, a Tascam 8-track cassette recorder. And if you know how small cassette tape is, fitting 8 tracks of tape, that cannot have been high resolution on there. An Eventide H3000, his MP1, an ART. Can't tell exactly what this one is under there. My eyes aren't good enough to see. The ADA power amp. And then these under there, obviously there's graphic EQ, but maybe these are like delays or compressors. I bet you they're compressors. And then his JCM, I can't read the number, but I'm guessing that's an 800. And the Ibanez's. Super cool. I really got to get one of those. I've never even played one. Did we spend 10 minutes on page 1? Of course, the King Ed. This must have been like really early when the Music Man Van Halen model came out. The stuff that's still out today that, I don't know, at least most of the people in the forums that I visit and stuff, we all still want the same stuff that came out in 91. It's like, yeah, I want an Ibanez. I want a Eddie Van Halen model. Yeah, sure. I want an N4. Steve Morse just put out a new 21 amp. That's amazing. It's all. Did anything change? Nice. I think this is like that fuzzy hairy stuff. I don't think it's hard. I think it's fuzzy hairy. Worst thing to cover cabinets in. It just is. That did not age well. Very thoughtful Larry Carlton. Oh, look at this. Letters. Steve Vai and Eric Johnson wrote in. Oh, because they had won awards earlier. Vai won best overall? No. He tied with Vai. Eric Johnson and Steve Vai tied for best overall. Sure, I'll go with that. Some interesting Korg ground effects. Oh, look at this. They're like, it's time to get rid of the rack. Put it on the ground. That was the beginning, 91. It started. Even the rack was starting to move onto the ground. They're like, yes, buy this rack because it works from the ground. This is cool. I've done a video on this with all of these presets. Not great presets. Not really awesome sounding. I mean, it's awesome because it's dated, but, you know. Steve Morse put out Southern Steel. That's a pretty good album. Not quite as amazing as high tension wires, but still pretty dang good. Oh, Steve Clark. Look at this. What a year. So much happening in like rock guitar in 91. He was found dead in his London home. Wow. But this is kind of hilarious because this is what I would call bad marketing. 1991, you're marketing to guitar players. So let's get a sweaty lumberjack guy with strings in his unzipped pants. Like, is that the core audience of this magazine that you're selling to, that are like, yes, let me get my eyes on this, Dean Markley? And maybe that is why everyone plays Ernie Ball strings. Oh, Ty Tabor, when he was over at Yamaha. Does he still play Yamaha guitars? I can't remember what he's using now. Oh, look at this, a Skolnick thing. I hope you could read this and there's not too much glare. Let's see, what album was this? Man, he was 22 years old. He must have been like 19 when their first album came out. But Souls of Black, he was 22. So he was like 20, 21 years old when they did Practice What You Preach, and I'm still trying to learn that solo? Dude. That's bonkers. Alex used his red Sabre for most of Souls of Black. He also owns an RG 560. All run through an ADA MP1, a Rocktron Hush, DBX 160 compressor. I crank the gain. Really? I wonder what he uses it on his dirty channel? I don't know if that's a great idea. And going through a Marshall and a PV. Most of my favorite studio sounds came from... By the way, the Souls of Black album sounds terrible. I just wish they would remix it. It's so tiny sounding. From the PV. What did he say? My favorite studio sounds came from the PV. But live I used them both simultaneously. What PV was he using? You can't just say PV. Yeah, wow, I can't believe he was so young. That's crazy. I'm not ignoring Andy Summers, just he's kind of the old school where he's like, yeah, I play music, and it's great. I guess I am ignoring Andy Summers, but not intentionally. Any of you guys try one of these? The worst sounding practice amp of all time? Perhaps? Oh, look at this. Look at this, Eric. Or maybe I need to do it like this. Maybe this is the picture when Nuno signed this magazine. How cool. It's clearly at like a music store, maybe like a, what do you call it? Clinic? All right, so this is, I'm sure, when Pornograffiti came out. Some people say Pornograffiti, but when they sing, it sounds like Pornograffiti, so that's how I've always pronounced it. one of the best examples of taking what Eddie Van Halen does and just refining it into, funky cool, like Van Halen 2 10 years later. After I quit school, he continues, I started learning every record and tape I could get my hands on. I'd put the tape on and tune to it, and then learn the guitar parts note by note. I was really into Yngwie, Van Halen, and Al Di Meola, who had a big influence on me. What is this? Oh, designing the N4. It was patterned after the N2. Oh, that's his personal guitar that he built out of a Schecter body and a Warmoth neck. Pretty cool. Bill Lawrence XL500 pickup in the bridge and a PAF in the neck. Pickups are mounted to the body. ADA MP1 and an ADA T100 tube amp. The power amp. I thought those were solid state. Maybe it's tube. I don't know. Running through Ampeg V4 cabinets. That's a strange choice. And a Roland ME5 multi-effects for chorus and delay. Use Proco Lifelines as the best cable. Never any mention of the Rat that may or may not have always been around. You know? Oh, I always thought this was so cool, too. It made crate amps look awesome. I was like, this... Love this. Oh, I made it worse. Look at that. Crate amps in the studio. That's just what I wanted to be, like a huge guitar rig in a studio. Almost got there. And then this made the Steinberger look not cool. I'm not a fan of lipstick pickups. Just not. A lot of words here. Don't get me wrong, there are no rules when it comes to music. Whether it's New Kids on the Block, Vanilla Ice, or Slaughter. If you like the song, great. Listen and enjoy it. That's what it's all about. How can anyone tell you it's good or bad? Well, that's fair. Respect. Private lesson with Nuno. Right? Looks like sixths. And then he's got harmonics. Super cool. Someone's phone number. Don't know what area code that is. Now, who's this? Roger McQuinn. Oh. Sexy kid winger. Very hairy. The really done hair and the beard is just a very strange, unsettling combination. Always has been for me. Personal preference. If you're into that, go for it. Oh, Roger McQuinn is the Birds? From the Birds? All right. Sure. Mark Whitfield, jazz. Max Norman, amazing producer. If you don't know, Max produced the Ozzy Osbourne, like Blizzard of Oz stuff, as well as Dangerous Toys, as well as, I think, Rust in Peace from Megadeth. That's just to name a few. And he's hawking the ART power plant. This can't be good. I maybe have to find one of these and try and do a demo of it. Let me see. I'm going to go on reverb right now. You can't see this, but I'm going to reverb. I'm opening it up. ART. And they come $4.99, $5.39 and 10 cents. Are you joking? I don't care how new condition it is. What? Oh, this one, $5.39, and it's missing one of the knob caps. So these little gray things, they just pop out. That is ridiculous. Come on. $4.99 plus $50 shipping. That is, what is happening? Oh, the humanity. I'm all out of whack now. Ugh. Huey Lewis in the News, bass player. Gotta be, right? He's got that look. Am I wrong? No, it is. And John Entwistle. Odd pairing. I'm a massive Huey Lewis in the News fan. Like, honest. No irony. Just absolutely love Huey Louie and the Newy. JCM 900s. The Pixies. I never really got into the Pixies. Maybe I should do some homework there. George Lynch. These are rad. The Screamin' Demon pickup. Do any of you out there have that? Because it sounds like it's going to be awesome. Look. Ungodly tone. Hellacious harmonics. Murderous attack. Alnico 5. Custom shop wind. Big, percussive, and bites without being harsh. But then, like later, you hear like, oh, the Screaming Demon is like kind of supposed to sound like a single coil. What gives? I don't know. Alvarez, look at this madness. I think Phil McKnight has one of these. I have to look to see if he's ever done a video of that. That's crazy. Crazy. Got the funk. What is this? Oh, a little funk lesson. Nice. Some Jennifer Batten. A little tap, tap. All right, moving along. We're in the lessons area. Look at this. This guy's like, if you want to learn it, you got to read some music. And you know what everyone did? Every kid that had this magazine, they were like, cool, notes? Nope, passing right on by. I remember a friend got one of those, or his dad, who was a professional musician. We were like, that's incredible. Richie Sambora plays that. I was helping out at my kid's school, going back to that tab thing, and a kid just shredded. I was like, whoa, this kid is really good on guitar. And then they decided, like, oh, hey, let's try and play Back in Black. I was like, well, I know that song. I could teach it to you. Play an E. And he was like, this one? Nope, that's an A. E. This looks like this. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, holy crud. He just finished shredding some stuff. So I think what happens is these kids are just like, tab. And they're like, tab it. And they just could play the numbers. It's like Rock Band on the video game, you know? It was a little heartbreaking. But I'm sure all of the generation of guitar players before my generation were feeling even the same way. Look at these idiots counting numbers. You know, it's a 0 on the 2, on the 1, and the 3. Like, why don't you just write it out? 2 string sweeps. I mean, I can economy pick. I do that all the time. Like I'll just steal an extra string skip by just going didn't. But I can't do that. Like, I just can't. Tried. I think my fingers, the way I hold the pick, don't shape properly to do that. That's what I've come to. If Troy Grady mapped out my fingers, I think that's what he would tell me. He's like, nah, your hand is all jacked up. You're just born wrong. Oh, this is how to string up a classical guitar. This is valuable information. Because if you've ever broken a string on a classical guitar and gone like, uh-oh, what am I supposed to do with that? It's good. Let me hear. Just capture that and you could go ahead and become a classical guitar tech. This is a big magazine. Impedance in it. Look, everyone, I know every guitar player always talks about impedance. And I bet you 99 out of 100 haven't the slightest idea of what it actually is. I'm going to read this. Maybe. I'll probably put this away after and then forget it was in there and not read it. Reb Beach. Nice. How Eric Johnson, he's like, goes to the photographer. Yeah, can you make me look exactly like Eric Johnson? A little more, please. All right, that's just right. What is this? Is this Conklin? I can't see where there's a brand. I don't know. What is this? The Guitar Factory? It's Guitar Factory. That's kind of all kinds of wrong. Yuck. Yuck. Get out. Look, kudos to this guy. This guy looks like he could have come out of 2024. He didn't buy into any of the 80s and 90s fashion tropes. Oh, look, this is, oh no, is this a DAT machine? Why are they doing a DAT machine in here? It's kind of dumb. Warwick basses. So cool. I love the sound of those. Here we are. Full circle to these ADA cabs. Ozite covering. What is ozite? I'm back on the internet. I'm looking up what is ozite. Yeah, it's that fur. Ugh. Carpet. Why? Who did that? And then who saw it and was like, dude, we need to put carpet on our cabs. Maybe I get it if it was like 1976. Like carpet was a big thing. It's like carpet on the walls, everything's brown. But, man, come on. Stop putting carpet on your cabs. Oh, okay, here's a picture of Eric Johnson. Where's my guy? All right, look. How do I do this? Eric Johnson. And my guy. Eric Johnson. And my guy. It's the same picture. Well, the face. I mean, he's not exactly the same pose, but that's some Eric Johnson if I ever saw one. All right, guys, we're coming to a close here. Should we look anything interesting in the classifieds? Not really. Next month. Lexicon PCM 70. Nice. It's a Hendrix episode. Look, so I would have been super psyched to get this one. And then this was the problem with Guitar Player. They were still kind of hanging on to the previous generation. They're like, Hendrix, Led Zeppelin cover band, Bob Marley. Well, you got Dweezil Zappa. He's barely hanging us on to that. I would have been like, hard pass. I'm out. Nice. This is a cool picture. Very fashionable. I like that. Super cool. All right. Thank you, Eric. This is awesome. All right, we'll see y'all later.